Hi everybody. So in my last video I spoke about overthinking and how it works as a tool in spiritual growth on the spiritual journey. Today I wanted to talk about guilt and what is guilt and how we can deal with it or make it work for your personal growth or your spiritual growth and evolution. So before that, a little background as to why I'm addressing this topic. um, so as a neurotic, guilt, depression, overthinking, so self-doubt, these are all part of the personality, which means this is something that you are doing constantly on a regular basis, more than a normal person would. So for somebody that is dealing with a condition which involves emotions like this, on dealing with emotions like this on a day-to-day basis, um, I I wanted to understand what it was trying to do for me as a person, and how it was connected to my growth and my development as an individual, and how it connected to the spiritual path, how it connected me on the spiritual path, with me on the spiritual path. So I wanted to share this video with you all, so that anybody that is on the journey in this situation, or if you are able to relate with this video, maybe it will help you find another perspective. So what is guilt? Whenever you go against your true authentic self, you are creating feelings of guilt. And how do you stop it? Is by being your true authentic self, obviously. So now, um, easier said than done. So how does it look like when you're dealing with this emotion, and you're trying to be your true authentic self, but the situation is not favorable? It does not um, not favorable is is what I would say. So how do you continue to be your authentic self? What would motivate you to still be your authentic self? So for example, if you were in a relationship, and I'm giving you an example of a relationship because any kind of relationship it could be, when it comes to dealing with people, because this is mostly where we find ourselves compromising, uh, changing, because these are areas where the pain is more, the connection is more, you're making a personal connection, right? The triggers are on the outside of you, and which is not within your control. So so suppose you are in a relationship, and you come to a certain point in your relationship where you need to make a decision, but you are not sure what decision to make, what decision you should be making. And because logically, you know you should do one thing, but then your heart is not there, and it says, like, but this is not right. This is the right way to go about it. So you talk to people, and they will give you their opinions, and they will give you their logics as to why you should, go the other path. You should choose logic over So and not necessary that the logic is uh, the right thing to do. Just because it is logical, it does not mean that it is the right thing to do, right? So um, now here is where you the emotion of fear comes up, where if you went with your intuition and you failed, um, you would be feeling anger, you would be feeling all the negative emotions you can think of towards yourself, right? So you would be, you would fear to fail. So what you do is you go by logic, you go by what everybody else is saying, and you do it. And that is when you feel the feeling of guilt because you went against what you thought was the right thing. If you can convince your mind that the logic is correct, then good for you. If you know that logically this is the right thing, but this it was wrong, morally wrong, or humanly wrong, or in my soul I don't think I should be doing this, or I should have done it in this kind of a way. So mm so then you are faced with the feeling of guilt, right? So now what happens if you take the other way, where you decide to go with your intuition and you fail? Right? Now again, you are filled with all the negative emotions, you're filled with anger, you're filled with doubt and regret and all of those kind of things. So how do you come to terms with it? So on the outside, if you, for somebody walking the path on the outside, you would look like a fool, you would look like uh, stupid, desperate, um, you know, you would look like that to others because they're asking you to do something which you're going against. But on the inside, you know that in your soul, you are acting from love, and you are being your true authentic self, and you're choosing whatever the situation is, you're still choosing to act with kindness, right? So when you do that, and you act out of kindness and you fail, um, you need to remember that every situation will not turn out the way we imagine it to be in our heads, and which is why we need to be open, we need to be conscious of our surroundings, so that we notice the slight changes that are happening, what is working for us and what is not working for us, right? So you, in that moment, you sit with the anger, you sit with the feeling. When I say sit, you don't sit, but you're feeling the anger, you're feeling the frustration, you're feeling the all of those bad things for going, listening to your intuition, acting out of kindness. This person didn't, has no morals, has no respect, and still decided to do what they have done to you. Um, when you feel all of those emotions, and after a certain period of time, when you're calm down, when you calm down, if you can remember that, for one, you have planted a good seed by doing something good, irrespective of uh, what the result was. You acted out of your you acted in alignment with your soul, you acted out of love, you acted out of being your true authentic self, and you chose to be when everybody else around you was saying that this is wrong. You still chose to be kind in the situation, and you acted from that higher level of kindness, right? So it is important to remember that this act of kindness that you have put out is going to come back to you, right? And now it is time for you to pay attention to notice the changes that are happening in your environment that are working for you despite the situation. um, and when you notice them, when you start being grateful every time you notice them, it will create more of these situations. Right now, from experience, you will not be able to convince people that this is what is happening, but you know what is happening, you know the experiences you're going through, and you know the reward you are receiving from the actions that you have put out over there, right? So guilt is it is an emotion that is never going to go away unless you die, right? The only thing you can do is to lessen the guilt, okay? For somebody who has the same kind of issues or anything that involves a lot of dealing with a lot of guilt on a day-to-day basis, um, in my opinion, it is the best thing to do is to operate from your highest truth, and the way to motivate you to be that authentic self all of the time is to remember that what you put out is what you get back also, right? And you start to notice what you are getting back. You start to notice what you're getting back. uh, Once you set out the intention, the answer or the result or the response will find a way to connect with you, right? So I hope that this video helps you in some kind of way, and it makes sense for anybody that has the same conditions, psychological conditions. So thank you for listening, and love and light.